beautiful uptown Burbank, Harmontown is now in session. Spencer Crittenden. Oh, what's in that bag? Special stuff in that bag.
I don't know, man.
Let's bring out the mayor of Harmontown, Dan Harmon.
Thank you. Wow, I think it's a new lighting setup, right? I'm assuming the microphone's further back because it's part of a new lighting setup.
I don't know.
Why do I always start the show in the worst fucking way?
Not just the worst way, but just specifically in like really wondering about whether the microphone's position is important in some way. Like whether it's intentional or haphazard is like, that's been a topic of discussion at the top of the show many times.
Yeah, I guess it's the first thing that I see.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that's why.
It's not a scripted show. It's not. I don't have a plan to talk about anything. I mean, I have a couple notes. I passed a very important romantic threshold on my trip to New Orleans to celebrate Cody's mom's 70th birthday. We went to this city. New Orleans is great. So you like music and food. Who doesn't? I don't understand that part of it. I'm not yelling at them. They've been through enough, but I just don't understand. Who doesn't like music and food? And what if I go to your city that's famous for its food? So you got your Portland, let's say your Asheville, North Carolina. We've been to Austin, New Orleans.
The big food cities.
The food cities, where it's like, oh, well, all the food's good. And it is. We always go there. If you go to these cities and open a bad restaurant, is it just that it's the momentum of the capitalistic biosphere there? Like, just people wouldn't go. They go, this food's terrible. I'm a Portlandier. I know the difference. I'm not going to. And then you would. So like, these are just cities that have created an ecosystem of foodieism.
So you're mad at New Orleans for liking food and for liking music?
I'm just wondering if it's all a scam. You just say your city is the home of good food, and then people will just go, this is delicious. Like, I'm kind of suspicious of it because I ate a lot of things called like Creole omelets, and they really tasted like omelets.
You're not supposed to get a Creole omelet. You're supposed to get a bag of crawdads or some, a beignet and shit.
And what is this obsession with the Saints marching in? Like that's a really horrible song. It's about the apocalypse. It's an apocalyptic biblical song.
Right.
It's zealotry.
It's about picking the right team.
Anyways, that's not what I wanted to talk about. I was in a hotel room, and we were going to go out to breakfast, and I didn't at any time, and I suddenly noticed, I never, as we were leaving the hotel room, I never made sure that both Cody and I had a key. And I always did that. I was married, and I've never stayed in a hotel room with somebody and didn't make sure that we both had keys when we left the room.
Right.
So symbolically, this means that I've let go of something in the back of my head as I leave a hotel room with Cody. Like, I imagine we'll be coming back together.
Oh. Or that's assuming we're coming back together no matter what.
Well, I mean, you could look at it as clingy, but I think it's more unhealthy that I was always like prepared for the event of coming home separately.
Right.
Like, well into my marriage, I was still like, well, stitch in time. It's a weird thing to be prepared for, like, oh, well, you never know.
Now you feel healthy because you, like...
Yeah, it never even occurred to me. Like, it was like the third time we went out, I was like, oh, shit, I haven't had a hotel key this whole time. I'm, like, totally comfortable being completely dependent on this woman.
See, it sounds pretty codependent.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good move in the right direction for me. Yesterday was a good day. You all know.
Dan, can I ask you? Did you have to use your AK?
Yes. No, I didn't.
You didn't.
No, that was a good day.
That was a good day.
I did this. I picked up my gun.
Yay!
I now
did
know
you use
how
your
to,
AK or did you not use your AK?
I learned to field strip my Glock 19 in my bed and oil it.
Oh, so you finally got your gun.
Yeah.
Danny got his gun.
Yeah. And it's amazing. Like guns are amazing.
It's one of the greatest ways to shoot bullets.
That's the thing. So that's the thing that was great, because part of the safety manual, or the owner's manual, period, is that it's first of all, let me explain how a gun works and what's happening when you pull the trigger, so that you don't blow yourself up or someone else that you're not meaning to, because it's a lethal weapon that you bought to put holes in people. But let's make sure you don't put it in the wrong person. And so they explain how everything works, and it really sinks home, because the ammunition you buy by the bucket. I said, I guess I need some bullets for this, and the lady said,
how many buckets of ammunition do you have?
And I was like, buckets? And she's like, yeah, behind you there's the target range bullets, and then there's the home defense bullets. Those are more expensive. Why? Because the target range bullets will just go through walls and stuff. So even though they're kind of more dangerous, they're cheaper. The more expensive bullets are the ones that are just for shooting someone in your bedroom.
They're the ones that just explode inside of human bodies.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, do they lob out and land on the burglar? But no, it probably is that they're just made of different stuff, and they're not going through.
The gun range bullets are more deadly than the
cheaper. And I bought a paint bucket full of bullets. That's it, and that's just an interesting sideline in this world of mass shootings and stuff. When they say they go and they look in the trunk of the person and they say, look how much ammunition they had. But you buy this stuff in bulk. And the odd thing to me is that these guns, they're basically staplers that have you put a little rocket in them, and it's got a bunch of explosive in it,
like a stapler.
Well, the gun part is like a stapler up until the point where instead of a stapler, there's a fucking tiny rocket. So that's my point, is Chris Rock has that joke about we don't need gun control, we need bullet control. That would be the solution, is to make bullets really expensive. But I'm not making that same joke, but I am saying, isn't it fucking weird that we don't regulate bullet? You could walk into that store, I don't need a license, I just buy these things. Ostensibly, I can go home and make a gun. People make guns in prisons out of bunk bed legs. I saw Hill Street Blues once. There was a guy. He was it's a zip gun or something. He's holding a little toothbrush thing he made. As long as it hits the firing pin receiver thing on the back, the primer cap.
Dan, you can talk the talk.
It's just that's the thing that kills you. There's a bucket of little rockets in my bedroom. And it was $8 for 1,000 of them or something, and it's those things kill babies. This gun is just you take it apart like John Wick. You learn how to do that to clean it, and it's and that's when you realize all those movies. You see the movies where the guy grabs the gun and field strips it with one hand, the slider fly. You can't. Come on. If a guy did that, if I was a thug and I was patrolling a drug lair, and a guy in a trench coat that was like the hero came around the corner and he grabbed the gun, I'd be like, oh fuck, God, you're good. But then if he stripped it, took it apart really fast, I'd be like, okay, well, what are you, a magician? What are you spending your time on learning how to do that? Then maybe I should try to grab the gun back, because that's all. That's if you grabbed your gun and then did a card trick or something.
The best time to take a gun away from somebody is when it's taken apart.
Yeah,
it's the safest time.
Well, you could. It'd be easier. Yeah. Anyways, I'm just saying it's hard to.
Also, I like that you think that bullets are rockets.
They are. They have a little combustible thing. They have a little cartridge, and there's gunpowder. I mean, it's that's the part that kills you. It's
what size gun do you have? What's the ammunition you have?
It's a 9
millimeter, right?
Yeah. And I'm sorry. I know I stimulated the market. I'm part of the problem. We've had gun violence just this last week, and here I am stimulating that market. It's like for instance, if I was going to have someone up to talk about this amazing movie that has a very pro-vegetarian kind of vibe, and I've been eating fucking sausage like crazy after, we're part of the problem when we vote with our dollars. I bought a gun, but that I have no excuse. I'm just scared. I'm doomsday prepping. We got ham radio instruction manuals.
Man, yeah, I'm learning how to read, do ham radios. This shit's hard, man.
There's a ham radio store.
It was so much easier for you to just get the gun.
Yeah. It was so easy to get the gun, and then we went to the ham radio store, and the guy's like, all right, what's going on here? Tell me what you want, and I'll tell you how you can get it a month from now. And it was like crazy. Like, we bought for $30.
Yeah, his position was like trying to, it was like a secret club where he was trying to not tip his hand, but gauge where we were on the totem pole of ham radio.
Right.
Because there is a totem pole of ham radio, and it has like three or four tiers.
But you can be mentally ill and buy a gun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they're lifting those regulations like crazy. Those people have lost their minds. You
don't even need to pass background checks half the time, because like background checks can get expedited, and if they go, I mean, this is certain states, but if if a certain time period lapse, they'll just go, oh, it's been too long, let's not do a background check anymore. And then so people just get guns without background checks. It's great.
So yesterday was a good day because I was like, I'm just on this crazy roller coaster where I swear I have to be totally honest and just say, if President Trump is upset, I'm happy, and if he's happy, I'm just depressed. I can't do anything. So if he's tweeting like hey, I don't know, if he's just like spiking his little toddler football, like I'll just have a bad day all day, and then or 2 days ago, it was like this great morning because he had that tweet about how he was under investigation, and he's like throwing his fire truck around the room, and it just felt good, and all of the articles were about like it's closing in on him, and he's under investigation. I can't believe he admitted it. What a dummy, and all this stuff, and just all the, I refreshed on all the threads of how we're going to prove that he colluded with the Russians. This isn't conspiracy theory. This is a real thing, and now we're going to get his financials and blah 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 and all this stuff. It just felt really good, and then this morning it was like his lawyer says he's not under investigation, and I was just like, what the fuck? That's why I got the gun. I got the gun because the only thing I understand is that I'm out of control, and I don't know if you know how hard it is to be white and male and fragile.
And you've said before that if you had to kill yourself, you'd do it with a gun, right?
Yeah, I did say I did.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it.
People don't realize like how much the real heroes of Handmaid's Tale are the commanders.
I have a question about Handmaid's Tale. Why is it part of the point of that dystopia that even the men are miserable? Because isn't it a dystopic thing where it's like the patriarchy is out of control and the women are just objects of fertility and servants and things, and they don't have rights anymore, but then all the men are, there's no men like lighting cigars with like women's hair and going like, I love having balls. Like they're all like bummed out because they have to like fuck their babysitter while they're looking at their wife, and like and everyone's sad. And I'm like, what kind of patriarchy is this? Like, shouldn't it look at least like a little bit like 60s Playboy club? Like they're wearing little tails, and it's like, and the conception sessions are like private and involve music.
I wish we could just find a dystopia where we could have fun.
But that makes me wonder, is like, is that part of the commentary, that this isn't just it's not just about like, if men had their way it would be awful. It's more about like, look what we do to ourselves. The patriarchy is the patriarchy because it's not self-aware enough to understand what it wants and doesn't want. We'll all land ourselves if we continue to follow this path of like, if we use the excuses of religion and things like that and gender identity to construct a society where everyone gets to do what they want. Nobody's going to get to do what they want. Everyone's going to be all bummed out and under pressure. And it would be better if we just relaxed, even if we were a little infertile.
I agree.
My other question is, in the book, after she plays Scrabble with him, does it have like the '80s needle drop while she walks in slow mo like in Mean Girls? Like, I felt like it was mixed messaging, but I'm not a guy, but I'm enjoying the show. I am a guy, and I am a guy, and am enjoying the show.
Dan, it's okay to not be a guy.
But we are kind of behind. We haven't watched Handmaid's Tale for a while. So maybe we didn't enjoy it. Maybe we got turned off by the Mean Girls slow-mo walks. Maybe we bailed on it. Maybe we were like, what is this? What's going on? Let's watch Wizard of Lies. Why is it called Wizard of Lies? Is it supposed to sound like Wizard of Oz? What are they going for? Why is this a non-linear story if the whole thing takes place in an apartment?
How's your book coming along?
I'm working very hard on it. It's almost done. Just shut up. They're going to sue the fuck out of me. I'm working hard on it. I had to go back and like rewrite part of the introduction where I was like, I'm introducing a book. Okay, hold on. The election's on. What the fuck? Like there's no such thing as a book that you've started before the fucking election that can... a lot of creatives are going through this. There's also positive effects of the election where I'm finding, as I work with writers and different stuff, where we're breaking stories about like a snowman that comes alive or a robot that fucks a shoe. Like whatever it is, even if it has nothing to do with politics, there's been a 10% decrease in the need for suspension of disbelief. Does that make sense? It's just across the board, like all writers. I'm not kidding. It sounds like a joke, but it's like on every single project that I started before the election and that now I'm working on after the election, of where I'm having like trouble with stories or stuff, we just go like, wait, so can't he just be a time traveler? And then they go, yeah, why did we rule that out? Oh, because, that was before the singularity started glitching out. And wait, well, why don't we just have her say, snowman, come alive, man, and she could just walk up the walls like Lionel Richie and... She put the ceiling fan on her head and fly out the skylight like Inspector Gadget. Why didn't we think of that before? I don't know. What was blocking us before? Anything can happen. I got a gun. I'm gonna fucking kill myself with it.
Don't do that.
Eventually.
Don't.
What, you want me to die of a stomach ulcer?
Yeah. Oh man, I hope you die of a stomach ulcer.
Can they kill you? A stomach ulcer? Can you die of an ulcer?
No.
Well, you get an untended stomach ulcer could create stomach cancer, I guess.
No.
Do you have ulcers?
I assume I have I don't feel anything in my tum-tum. I have horrible heartburn. Chronic, horrible heartburn. It's got to be just 40 years of just soaking my esophageal flap in vodka has made it like kind of... I can tell because if I eat popcorn, I now have to consciously breathe, then eat the popcorn, and then like not breathe while I'm eating the popcorn. If I'm watching a movie where like a Voorhees or something comes around the corner and I go, the popcorn's going straight into every like alveoli balloon. Like I just have lungs full of popcorn that are just disintegrating. There's like dormant tuberculosis in there, like eating the popcorn. And I didn't know. What did I do right? So you got to be careful.
You seem a little down. Or you said yesterday was a good day, or today was a good day.
Yeah, today's a bad day because it's just like I'm not under investigation. You can't control this guy. He's just a big. There's a baby on a motorcycle, like driving in a bullet store. And he's swinging firing pins around in a bag, just throwing them everywhere.
I mean, a baby in a motorcycle in a bullet store, it's not going to set the bullets off.
I know. And maybe that's why the bullets aren't dangerous, because nothing can. It just seems to me like if you look at the mechanism of a gun, the firing pin goes, like it's just like a thing. Like it just seems like you could fire a bullet by hitting it real hard with a hairpin.
Yeah. Like if you had pliers and a small hammer, you could go bang.
Yeah.
Shoot someone. You never hear about those shootings.
Have you shot your gun yet? Have you taken it to the range? Have you,
No, because I don't know. I want to like learn to use it. And...
Yeah, there's a firing range nearby here, and they have like a weekend gun safety class. But I don't know, man. The last place I want to be is like a group of weekend intro gun safety class humans.
Also, people keep going into gun ranges and killing themselves because you get a gun and it's free. Or not free, it's cheap. And people just keep blowing their heads off
that's
inside
fun,
gun
though.
ranges.
That's just part of the
That's
territory.
the price of admission.
Yeah. Sometimes you get like a chicken in your egg McMuffin.
Yeah.
That probably doesn't happen.
All right. Anyways, we'll bring up our friend now, our new friend that I met at the screening, Netflix screening for this movie that's coming out, Okja. But God damn it, it's Bong Joon-ho. Joon-ho? Bong Joon-ho? Did I get that name right? Okay, Bong is the first name. There's like a thing where the people that refer to working with him on set is like a part of Korean culture. You call him Director Bong as like kind of fun. I don't know.
That is fun.
This is getting neat. I wish we had that in West. That would be, if you're a director or you should be called like Writer Harmon, like, or Writer Dan. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like it. And then all the fertile women, we can round them up, dress them like nuns, but in a sizzling red color.
Sizzling.
Red nuns is hot. They're the handmaids. They're like red nuns. But only when they're going to buy oranges. Like, they also have to buy oranges for everybody. Okay, all right. I'll work up my dystopia. It's got third act problems. Anyways, this is a friend of Cody's who was there. That's why we were at the screening. And because I was at the screening, I didn't know anything about the movie. I never saw a trailer. My mind was fucking blown by this movie. So I was like, come talk about it, even though you guys haven't had a chance to see it yet. It's coming to Netflix next week. Let's welcome our new friend, Christina Oh. Oh, thank you. Christina brought a foam Okja.
Hi.
A foam?
She fell.
A foam what? What is that?
It's a super pig.
Oh, it's a super pig.
Okja in the movie is a super pig created by a corporation to genetically modified in order to solve world hunger. These aren't spoilers, right? Because in the first 5 minutes of the movie, they explain it all. So there's giant pigs that are being tested and and the story follows the ownership of one giant pig, Okja, and her owner. What's her name? Mija. And I saw you after the movie, and I was like, I think that was a perfect movie. I think it was a 10% Gyllenhaal reduction. Like people are gonna say he's over the top, but I didn't care. But I don't know why I qualified it with that, but it's because truly I wanted to, I really thought it was a perfect movie. And then you were like shocked to hear that, and it seemed like so was Bong. Can I call him Bong?
You have to call him Director Bong.
Director
it's his
Bong.
Last name.
Right. So the last name comes first is
Got
the
it.
formality, right?
Yeah, it's a very honorific culture.
Yeah.
You gotta eat that mic.
Right. Dan's setting a bad example because his mic's way hot.
Sorry.
No,
because my mic's hot.
No, it's just picking you up, from really
Okay.
far away.
Yeah, your mic's not as hot because we're in an honorific culture too. So
So the male gets the better mic.
there's a
and
glass
the-
ceiling on your
Got
mic
it.
decibels.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
Put it- you gotta
I gotta
put
get
Jeff's
up on
through
mine
it.
too. See, I'm like right here.
But don't cover it with your hand. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna beatbox, then I find that helps because it helps the peas not pop.
It looks cool too.
Okja. Okja. So this movie was co-written by director Bong and.
John Ronson.
Now tell us about him.
John?
Yeah, was he there at the screening?
He was not. He's cool though. He's an author. Well, he's like well-reviewed author, and he has worked. He's known Bong forever, director Bong forever, and then he came up with this, director Bong came up with this crazy idea. I think driving down a countryside and he saw this billboard, or he saw this animal and was just like, oh, what's it doing out in the middle of nowhere? And
what was that animal? He mentioned that, but he didn't mention the species of animal.
I don't know.
It's
I just
so
think
weird
some
that he
sort of
doesn't.
cute animal thing in Korea.
Yeah. So the movie, it's not going to be theatrically released.
So Netflix will do a day and date on June 28th, and it will play in iPic theaters in LA for like a week or so, but no, we want you to go watch it on Netflix.
He talked about that a little bit. He was answering questions through a translator, but he speaks fine enough English to do conversative stuff. But what I was gleaning was that every director probably wants their movie to be on every theater screen in the world on Friday night, and everyone go out and eat popcorn and watch it. Like it'll be a while before people get used to that not being the case. But it was worth it, the lack of that, to work with Netflix. This is an unpaid plug, because they're really like they I don't want to make them sound irresponsible, but they give you money and they kind of let you do your thing.
Well, that's kind of the reason why. Okay, so once you see this film, you'll realize, like, holy shit, who would have given these people like this amount of money to go make this movie? It was a crazy thing. Like, imagine going to a pitch being like, all right, so there's this girl and her best friend's this genetically modified pig and gets taken from her, and she's a visual effect. Give us like several $1 million to make this.
But also it's rated R.
And it's rated R. And there's like
that's the big thing. It's like, yeah, it's a big giant CG pig that you fall in love with the first moment you see it,
yeah,
and it's
adorable.
A horrible rated R movie.
It is. I mean, I can't even imagine any other studio being like, yes, Director Bong, here's a check.
But that's why I really think it's a masterpiece. And I also, like, something, like, when I was watching, I was like, oh, so this is the Snowpiercer guy. I started watching Snowpiercer, and then I was like, there's tonal incompatibilities with me here. It's hard enough to write a comedy or an action movie. I don't want this goofiness happening in my action movies. And I kind of like drifted away from it, and I was like, I bet that's just a thing when East meets West, like filmically. And then when I watched this movie, I was like, wait, no, is this guy like the Coen brothers or anybody else that we put in that category where he's like fucking with us? He deliberately, he's evolving now, or maybe this movie just like makes it clearer that he really deliberately plays with tone in order to take you from laughter to horrible, like facing the abyss.
He's a master at that. If you've watched any of his other films, he did this film called Mother, and earlier did Memories of Murder, and then he did this Korean film called The Host, which the first time I saw it, I was like, what is this? And it's like this horror movie wrapped up in comedic bits. And one scene that I feel like wrapped him up was in that particular movie. There's a scene where the father figure is explaining to his kids why the third particular youngest son is like kind of seemingly messed up and doesn't have his life together. And he's like, we were so poor when he was little, and I couldn't feed him proper protein, so that's why your brother's like a little slower than you guys. And he's like really bearing his soul, and then the camera pans to the other brother and sister, and they're sleeping. Like, it's just like those tonal shifts where he's like trying to open up and be emotional about something, but the world is like not hearing it.
And it reminds me of Almodovar in that sense, that there's like and I don't know how much of that is the effect of watching a foreign film that blends a little comedy with like thought-provoking, weird, shaky shit. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to figure out as a Western viewer is how much of this is one person's genius and how much of it is just the weird effect of like a movie translating across international borders.
I think it's a little bit of both, and if you know anything about director Bong, he is like, I think growing up in Korea, which had a very military kind of like regime for a long time when he was growing up, like I don't know if he wants me to say this, but he was like arrested for protesting in the 90s and stuff like that. Like, he is intrinsically, I think, a person who has something to say about the way the system works and kind of fighting against him. This is kind of his way of doing it. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but that's kind of how I read it. This film, I think the underlying message, of course, it's about friendship and, you know, this little girl and her, bringing her family back, and like this having to come to terms with adults and like grow up really quickly in the span of like a week or however long this film takes place. But it also has this kind of like nod to like the greed and horrible nature of capitalism and
right, but you're never
commerciality,
preached
but
to.
it's not
That's what
preached-
that's
yeah,
what I'm trying to
exactly.
figure out how to tell people, because the truth is, if I read the description of this on paper, I wouldn't. I don't think I would. I'd be like, well, when am I going to be in the mood to be told that every time I eat bacon that something horrible is happening? I'll put that on my list, you know, but because I just wandered into this movie and saw it, I just like, I'm so I want to tell people, you don't have to worry about that. It is heart-wrenching, but only in the same way that kind of E.T. is.
Yeah.
And I guess it's sort of like, well, what if E.T. was delicious? It would just make E.T. kind of extra. You'd be rooting for Elliot to fly a little more. Spoilers, Elliot flies. E.T.'s kind of a piece of shit. This movie's really good. No, I mean, there's definitely a lot of like, you can sense there's like a half dozen movies that you could feel a real genuine like influence from without being derivative. Like you feel this whole E.T. thing, but you also feel this King Kong
thing, the King Kong, like Pete's Dragon, if you even
Yeah.
want to go there. I would say that a big props though goes to our visual effects supervisor, Eric DeBoer. Just putting it out there, but he helped create this magnificent creature. Like I've never worked on a film where we've had this amount of CG. Where I mean, World War Z was a different thing, but this was like the main character, the star of the film, is a visual effect.
Yeah.
So how do you create that bond between this little girl and this made-up creature, and make it believable and touching? And I've seen the movie probably like 20 times now, and every single time at the end I'm like crying. And it's kind of remarkable in terms of like...
I found myself crying because the movie was so good. Sometimes I was like not because it was sad narratively. There were those times then too where like, you know, I could hear Cody sniffling and I was like, if I look at her then she'll see that I'm crying. But I don't want to oversell it, but you know, hey, everybody watch this and tell me I'm insane. Like if if it's not actually like this big a deal, this movie, but like I found myself near tears because of the action sometimes, because I was like, yes, this is how you do it. It's like it's a little girl and she's like trying to save her pig, but like it's not cloyingly like, oh, she's a little girl, but she's a Powerpuff Girl. She's got big, strong powers, and you love her. Like she's a little girl, and she's really at odds with the physical world, but she just is flinging herself, literally and figuratively, at this giant machine called humanity. And what I was most impressed by was like, there's these action scenes where, if she's chasing it, you know, you can see her making decisions about physically what she should try to do next. And you feel like you're playing like an 80s Laserdisc video game or something, because you actually are with her, and that she's like, you know, am I going to try to jump on this truck? Yeah, I think I should, but I didn't. Typically in action movies, there's a little bit of suspension of like, oh, well, how did you know that you were gonna? You're just improvising, and so you decided to jump, and now you're gonna land on that truck. But it's like there's a slight difference between that and I do this all the time. By the way, it's called dansplaining. I'm a terrible interviewer. I just bring people up and I just talk.
I coined that.
We're good here.
Yeah. But do you know from working with him, is that a conscious thing when he's doing action that he wants people to track the choices?
Okay, well, another thing about Director Bong is he's like a director we've never worked with before. This guy's like remarkably meticulous in the way he shoots. So every sequence or every whatever, the entire script is basically storyboarded. So I land in Korea and you're basically handed this book of the entire movie that's storyboarded shot for shot. Like it was insane. And then the night before, we get our call sheets, and with them are the boards for the next day with exactly what's going to happen. So it was kind of crazy because you already knew, and you already knew what it would look like, and then you just, you know, you would direct a scene, and it was exactly like those boards, what was drawn. And a lot of people were like, oh, you know, does that give you creative freedom or whatever? But it does. I think if you hear some of the actors talk about it, they're like, we knew exactly what we needed to do, so then we could kind of have freedom within those parameters. And then the little girl, Mija, who's played by An So-hyun, was just remarkable. She's like this incredible kid, and did everything so beautifully, and then like would just go and do it, and she'd like be playing in the corner, and then they'd be like action, and then she'd go run down the street, and then he'd be like cut, and then she'd be like, where's the snack truck? And like wanting to go do
I think
that.
people are going to freak out most about her because
She's
people are freaking
phenomenal.
out about the little girl in Logan who's like so amazing and so striking, and she's doing so much with so little like dialogue and stuff. She's just like glaring at Hugh Jackman and like holding her own. But like this little girl is like doing these scenes with Paul Dano, who is I was never like, hey, sign me up for the Paul Dano fan club. Nor was I a hater. I would see him and I go, who's that guy? His face is kind of weird. But he is fucking amazing. I wanted to marry him. Like his character. That's the other. And the other thing. Again, I'm doing it again. I'm not asking you anything. But like.
Oh, keep going.
Like that character is deeply flawed, but he's so righteous, and and his relationship with the girl, and I loved the internationality of the story. I love that it's part of the story that some people speak Korean and English, some people only speak Korean, some people only speak English.
That was kind of another aspect of the film that we wanted to touch upon. I think Director Bong likes to have these characters that are conflicting. Like, there's this animal liberation front, and they're a group with well-intentioned meanings, like, wanting to save this pig and expose this evil corporation, and how they, like, had created all these like super pigs that are just fucked up and they're just having a terrible time. But
They're
they
terrorists.
themselves...
There's a group of terrorists in the movie, and they're the good guys. And
there really is
love
an ALF. Like that's an actual
It is,
thing.
yeah, that is a real
based
thing.
on the actual
I
food?
think it's not like a direct. It just happened to be like, I think it came from his cousin is like an activist or something.
Right.
But anyway, so they themselves are very conflicting characters, especially Steven Yeun's character, who is Korean American and he speaks Korean in the film, but he's like terrible at translating.
His character is.
His character is. I mean, in real life, I'm just kidding. His Korean's really good. His Korean's really good. So like they have these conflicting characters where, they have they really mean well, but they're kind of like a group of just like bumbling idiots at times.
Yeah, I mean they're pure of heart. It's hard to say. It's like it's that archetype where the people show up and they're kind of like they're goofy but they're heroes.
Even Jake's character is like a deeply. I don't know if you got that, but he's like a deeply flawed person who started out as like this, Steve Irwin-esque kind of like animal lover, and then has just been beaten down by this woman for the past like. Tilda's character for the past 10 years. He's like the shell of a man who he was, and he's just kind of taking it out on at one point on Oakja.
Let's talk about Gyllenhaal for a second in this movie. Who just because I want to protect him because I feel like he's making choices in this movie that are so fucking over the top that I'm afraid. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I'm afraid people are going to go, why is he acting like the Riddler when other people aren't doing that? But like, what kind of conversations does Director Bong have with actors? Do they show up to set and go like, I thought I'd try something like this, and he's like, whatever, or is he like, how hands on is he?
So Jake came in like, I think we were halfway through our shoot in Korea or so, and we were literally on this mountainside at her house when he comes up. The mountain is like, that was like the first day, and it's this beautiful set. It's in the middle of nowhere. You have to like hike down for like 10 minutes. It's super secluded, and Director Bong was just like, yeah, so he's coming up the thing, and maybe he's just really out of breath, so he's like, hey, right. And so he kind of ran with it, and then that happened, and it kind of just stuck, and we, of course, like us being on the other end, we see those dailies, and we're just like, does anybody want to say anything?
And what does Bong say?
Well, we were like, hey, and he was like, no, I kind of like it. So then we were like, all right. And we had like this weird trust that it would work out.
And it did, but I'm curious.
So he stuck with being out of breath as a character choice?
So When you see the film, I think he has a very high-pitched kind
It's kind of like. Did you see Snowpiercer? Did you? Have you
I hated Snowpiercer.
There's like.
It's a bad movie. Meet me after the show. I'll explain it to you.
There's like everybody's. Tilda Swinton, what she's doing in this movie, along with Giancarlo Esposito, who was on Community. That's not important, but it was also kind of exciting. But like just the two of them, and along with what director Bong does with Foley, like in scenes that have no score, where they're talking, and like Tilda Swinton is. Like doing just that character is like simultaneously a total cartoon and absolutely like rich somehow, like captivating. Maybe that's just you're pulling out the Ferrari of actors and you're just like so just cruising around the block feels like an Olympic sport, or maybe but it feels like this incredibly amazing character, this performance, and then the Giancarlo being like her like attendee, and then he goes and makes a cup of coffee, and you're just like. The choice of the camera to be everywhere it is at every moment where you watch Giancarlo Esposito make a cup of coffee for a second before doing his next line of dialogue, and everything is just Foleyed. Step, click, pour, steam.
You're thinking of bringing her to New York, right? And then that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite parts. She goes, I was just about to say that.
And I think it's in that scene because, like, then Gyllenhaal's also in that scene. He comes into it and goes like, "Here's what I think," and they're kind of like, "Oh man, I don't want anybody to be punished for enthusiasm."
No, I think for the way that I like reconciled that in my head was that his character, basically he like 10 years ago was this normal guy, and then for 10 years he's been playing the role of this spokesperson and having to do all this stuff, and he's become a puppet for this corporation, right, that he's almost become the role that he was just playing.
And he does say that stuff. And then she even says like, "Quit your whining." Right. If I was in the edit bay, no one needs my help on this movie. It's a masterpiece. But I did think, I was like, well, put your money where your mouth is, Harmon. If I was in the edit bay and I had all that footage and I had one pickup shot, I would just have one shot where where Gyllenhaal's character does a little amyl nitrate, like he just does one popper, or something weird, some weird thing, like huffs something. Or,
well, that would have been helpful like 3 months ago.
But it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. So, so the movie, like this is the thing. Like, it's okay to say he's not a vegetarian, right?
No.
He helped write, he conceived of this movie and then shot the entire thing. Everyone that watches this movie for at least 48 hours is not, you're gonna just not have sausage.
Yeah, I remember being in a meeting earlier on after we were doing some scouting, and we were watching some research footage of, there's a scene where they're, I don't want to like give it away, but they're dealing with animals in a certain way, and so it's based, that scene is based off of a real how they actually treat cattle.
Well, of course, yeah, we figured, yeah.
And I was sitting in this meeting, and he was like, "Oh, I want to show you this research clip," and I was like, "Oh God," and I was sitting there trying to hide that I was crying, like in a room full of like producers and other execs.
Was it actual footage of actual?
Yeah, it was actual footage of cattle being led to their slaughter, essentially, and they like recoiling, kind of knowing like they were headed into something dangerous. Yeah. And it was like the worst thing I'd ever seen, and I was like, I don't want to eat anything after this.
I had a couple of friends, and I can't say their names because they might still be like the ALF, the Animal Liberation Front, was on FBI's like most wanted list, and it might still be. And they would go into meat processing plants and animal testing labs and take the footage, and I would tell people like I'm vegetarian. I don't preach it. People should eat what they want to eat, but there's a couple of things that if you don't want to eat meat, don't watch this tape. Yeah. And there's footage that's so absolutely compelling and so horrifying.
And that's the thing that I want to make clear, only because creatively this movie deserves so much recognition for what it's somehow pulling off, and I have no idea how it's doing it. How is it that part of the movie everything that I've said, you're imagining like, oh, I understand. The idea is like Lisa Simpson, she sees the movie and it's like gross and it's like you don't want to eat meat anymore. But it's like it's not. Somehow it doesn't gross you out. It doesn't make you. It doesn't spank you as a meat eater for 40 years, but it just somehow invites you up.
I think that's the point. We didn't want to. For us, at least. Our intention is to never be like preachy about anything. We just want to show you a different view of something and be like, kind of like, hey, this is how it is. Make your own decisions. But we would like to show you a different side of the truth that maybe you aren't familiar with, and that's kind of like.
I mean, that's a really extraordinary mind at work on his part. It's like, would he be a better person if he didn't eat meat? Sure, so would I. But since he does enjoy bacon at breakfast, him making that decision, artistically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my camera on this side of that story, that issue, and I'm going to do that faithfully. He just wanted to do that creatively. And then he just finished the movie and he ordered some sausage and that to me it may not make any of us good people, but it certainly makes him a genius.
Yeah, actually, I think when he went on his research trips he actually like visited some slaughterhouses. I think the whole crew that went on that trip couldn't touch meat for a while because it was like there's something about the smell and like.
There's also different levels of we're talking about like I imagine there's people that have different levels of issue with different. It's like there's probably people in the audience that personally eat meat, but also recognize that there's perhaps like an industrial problem where we're doing it wrong. The system is built wrong. We're over addicted to meat. We should make it more expensive, and it should be always processed in a way that comes as close as possible
manner?
to shooting it with a bow and arrow and praying over its carcass in the forest.
Yes, that's exactly what.
And what about you, by the way? I never asked you. Like, are you a vegetarian?
I have made a kind of decision to try and do the pescatarian thing for a while because after having worked on this, I didn't eat pork for the entire thing. There's something about piggies and.
What about crustaceans?
I actually don't like shellfish or crustaceans. That's no.
Yeah, I'm off of them since New Orleans.
Because you just ate too much?
I just brought a brown bowl of. It looked like H.R. Giger made a. It was just like everything. It was just like the eyes and the face, and it had an expression on its face. I wasn't a human. And it wasn't like, oh, this poor jumbo shrimp.
That's the exact face they make right before they die, and it just freezes.
That's when they know. They're like, I'm gonna be served to a guy that's not even gonna appreciate me, aren't I? But
what a terrible death! Oh, you killed me, and the guy didn't fucking dig it.
Yeah,
he didn't even like it.
But it was more like because they put a bib on you, and but it's like I look over at Cody and she's like, yeah, you get it, I don't know. But I'm like, what did you do? I lifted it out of the bowl. It's curled up. And then as you uncurl it, the legs go like that. And then juice goes everywhere. And then you're just like, well, do I eat the face off and then squeeze its
I think you're supposed to
into my mouth?
rip the head off and then suck the head.
Suck the head, she says.
Sorry.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I just peeled it like a hard-boiled egg down to a big jumbo shrimp and then ate it. It was like, yeah, it's fucking shrimp, bro. Don't make it shaped like an insect.
But we talked about this. You don't like when you get meat on the bone. You don't like to have to do the work.
Yeah.
You want it to be done for you.
And I would definitely, if we were living in a proper kind of caveman tribe,
You'd die?
I would be a vegetarian. I would be like, okay, I wrote a play for you guys. Can I have a piece of brisket? And if the alpha was like, no, you gotta kill what you eat, what you kill, I'd be like, then I'll have a salad. Like I don't like your attitude. And good luck with the obvious analogy for your character in my play being.
What do you think would be in your caveman salad? What would that consist of?
Arugula and Parmesan. Just because I like that at Little Dom's.
That's one thing about the cavemen that people
Salty.
don't really appreciate is how good they were at making aged cheese.
Fantastic.
But
Christina, like, so how did you get, like, you're a producer, you work for Plan B. How long have you been there?
A little over 6 years. I'm an executive producer.
Executive
That's
producer.
a step below. No, it's a step below.
Yeah.
Settle down.
I fell for the same thing. I'm an exec producer on Anomalisa. It's like, I didn't do anything. But you did lots of stuff on this movie.
I think,
So
yeah,
when awards are handed out, you're not going to be up on the stage for that necessarily? Or?
No, I'm okay with that.
But at what stage did you get involved in the film? Like how early?
So I got involved towards the end of 2015, I think October or November of 2015. I was like shipped away on a location scout, for like days.
I forgot the connection was Plan B, which is Brad Pitt's
yeah.
company, which is hilarious. He's the CEO of isn't he? Like, yeah. Is he always eating when he comes into meetings, or is that only as an acting choice? Like it's like
No, he likes to eat.
Is he? Because he started like as soon as it appears as soon as he got a say in what he gets to do on camera, he obviously started saying as an actor, "Could I be eating something?"
Watch any Brad Pitt movie with the sound off. He moves his head a lot and he points a lot. There's a lot of pointing and a lot of. George Clooney has like a weird George Clooney's head is always like on a swivel. It's like he's bobbing like it's funny to watch like actors without the sound on.
All right.
Yeah.
Guess I know what I'm gonna go
Christina,
home and do tonight.
give us some dirt on Brad Pitt. Talk some Brad Pitt shit.
He's a lovely human being. He's just the best.
What is it? How often? I mean, or just like, what is he like in person? I mean, I'm just honestly just asking. Like, I'm a high schooler.
I mean, I feel like I'm just gonna let it. He's literally just like he's normal. He's comes in and.
He doesn't go. Oh, yeah. But it's cool. I mean, his company is doing cool shit. Like World War Z, I understand why it wasn't. It didn't break records and whatever. But it was a great idea to try to make that book into a movie.
Yeah,
and
geopolitical zombie film.
Yeah, I like his usage of what he's been dealt. Like he's Brad Pitt, and like he's like lots and lots of actors are like, okay, then I'll have a production company, but he's like. Clearly, somewhere in that pipeline, there's somebody going, and it might be CEO Brad Pitt going, like, I want to make good choices and make better movies.
Yes, of course, he's great, but Dee Dee Gardner and Jeremy Kleiner, my colleagues, are like really just crushing it.
I remember Dee Dee Gardner worked at Paramount, right?
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Before Plan B, yeah.
Brad Pitt. We got, yeah, that's great. 12 Monkeys.
What is Brad Pitt? Does Brad Pitt?
That's where I'm getting my impression of.
Does he have I wear two outfits. I wear either a suit or I wear like a V-neck like sweater and jeans. Like, does he have an outfit? Like, does he have like
more Brad Pitt
does Brad Pitt have a uniform that he wears, or does he wear different shit every day? Like, give me some quotidian Brad Pitt shit.
I'm like the most unfun person to ask Brad Pitt questions to.
So you don't want to be part of our regular weekly segment, The Pit Stop? Where we just check in.
Check in.
We'll
come
find
for 5
someone
seconds.
else. Fine. But talk about...
Welcome to The Pit Stop, everybody. Oh, no. Oh, God.
He doesn't have a uniform.
It's the update. It's a whole different thing here.
Where were you born and raised?
Massachusetts.
And so you moved out to LA first, or
No, okay, so I was born and raised in Massachusetts until I was 13, and I moved to Arizona. Boo.
4 people cheered for Massachusetts. 1 guy, boo.
I bet that guy's from Arizona, right? Like,
Are you
from Arizona?
You're from Boston. You just
okay.
Arizona.
You just don't
Where
like
in
people leaving Massachusetts. Okay.
Where in Massachusetts? Boston, okay. I grew up in Peabody. Super, super tiny.
Is that a town that's spelled differently than its name would suggest?
I suppose.
It's spelled Peebuddy. Is how it sounds.
Yes, Peabody. That's the one.
Peabody. Gotta love Massachusetts.
Yeah, and then I moved to LA.
Spencer, will you be my pea buddy later on?
Yeah.
Is production your ambition, or are you transitioning? Like, is helping out in a production capacity? Like, is it the end all be all, or is it a means to?
No, of course. Like, I'm gonna be a producer without the executive in front of it.
Right. But that's where it's not. You know, it's not
Yeah.
and then I'll be a director, or then I'll.
No, I'll leave that to people that are far more talented than I am.
I'm glad you said that, because we have directors and writers up here all the time, and then we
Yeah.
go like, "What's your advice?" But it's like we have so few. Like Steve Levy, my assistant, he wants to be a producer, and 10 years ago I'd be like,
Turn away.
"That's not an ambition.
Go
Fuck
back.
you. Suits are evil. Whatever." And then I would have gone on to get fired by everybody, and no one likes me. And they're like, "Why do you keep calling us Suits?"
I think people don't really know what a producer does.
Right, like producers are fucking important as AF, to put it in your language. Your millennial.
It's in my
As
language.
important
Korean,
as
right?
AF. They're important AAF.
Yeah. Well, I switched over. It was like Gen X to millennial. Like it's like Spanglish. I was like as AF. All right, but
It's like saying like pin number.
you can choose how much gender mustard you want to put on this. You can either answer this for the young ladies in the audience as a woman interested in production, or you can just answer it as a human being. That
Also, you can do both at the same time.
you. You guys are gonna go home tonight and realize that meant nothing. I am not a villain. And that was not a hero. You'll figure it out later. Whatever. I forgive you, for you know not what you do. But yeah, I mean, if it's like people out there that are going, I want to work in production. Like, what are they? How and what are the obstacles? Any pieces of advice? Whatever, take it.
Why, thank you. There is no like, do this and then do this and then do this and then you're a producer. If anyone ever tells you that, they're lying to you. I did an internship, worked my ass off, and very serendipitously landed at this company.
People hear that. Maybe some people are going, okay, so what do you open the yellow pages? Do you Google yellow pages
Yeah.
and find out what yellow pages mean? What can you like really get granular about? Like, what do you do from Massachusetts? Like, what the first step where you go like, I'm gonna like start.
You have to
interning?
have kind of slightly oppressive Asian parents that want you to be a doctor or a teacher, and then but you secretly have to want to do something a little bit. I mean, Happy Father's Day, Dad! I love you so much. Actually, my dad wanted to be a film director, but then gave everything up and immigrated.
Don't you have to call him Father Dad in your culture?
Yes, Father O. Father O wanted to be a film director, and he actually went to film school in Korea in, I don't know, the 70s. And then he immigrated to America to give us a better opportunity, so to speak.
But then how do you get to be an intern on a...
So then I like moved to Arizona, went to school, and Scott Stuber was an alumni at...
Scott Stuber?
I know, it's
He
so
sounds
random.
like he can do anything.
He's like... He's at Netflix now.
He sounds like an Archie comic character. That
He's great. He's super lovely, and I interned at his company out of college in my last semester.
Is there a bulletin board at University of Phoenix? Is there what was the actual
University of Arizona?
Okay.
Yeah. Woo! Wildcats. Go Wildcats. No, he was an alum there, so he had this like premier internship program that you had to apply for, and then I got it, and I went, and you work for free for 4 months, and then it opens doors for you, I suppose. But if anybody actually is interested or wants to know, I guess come find me afterwards because this
God,
is
don't
a terrible.
do that to yourself. No.
Okay, then don't come find me afterwards.
I
feel like there'll be like
because sometimes
one
people are like,
person.
"What do I do? What do I do? Can I be an intern on your show? Can I be a PA and all this stuff?" And I'm like, I never did that.
Yeah.
And so
I would
don't
say
know.
interning is a great thing. Be a PA, but it's just like kind of like. My thing is be nice to everyone and introduce yourself and like be a cool person and things will happen. If you're an asshole, like I immediately am like I don't want to talk to this
How
person.
did you sustain yourself, like when you were like people like that have internships, like you're not being paid for your work? Like were you broke back then, or did you have a?
Yeah, I lived. My parents helped me, of course. Thank you. But I like lived with this old Korean couple. They were super nice. I stayed in a bedroom at their place that they like kind of randomly knew my parents, and I just stayed in a lot and I didn't eat a lot of rice and kimchi.
You're so racist right now.
But that's the thing. Like you hear about like a lot of people that get to become like like you turn on the news and everyone's a journalist. That they're all rich people because they could afford to be.
Yeah.
They could afford to spend 3 years unpaid labor as interns and doing this stuff. But you actually just like lived. You squatted with an old couple and didn't eat much except like basic food.
Well, I did. I mean, like, I did eat because otherwise I'd be a lot skinnier. But no, I do think like I knew when I needed help, and I was like, listen, like I want to do this. Like, how do I do this? And my school was really cool and helpful, and I did thankfully find this couple, which was kind of odd. Like, it was in a weird bedroom in Koreatown, and there was a fridge in my room. I didn't really understand, like a full-size fridge.
Did you ever look inside of it?
It was empty. Yeah.
I lived in Koreatown when I first moved to LA. There was a murder in the alley behind my house, and I'll tell
Mine
you
wasn't
later.
that bad, but yeah, we should talk later. But mine
Koreatown,
was
like it doesn't sound like
I mean, I guess
Danger Town.
I guess it
sounds
helped
like,
that I am Korean, so it made a little bit of sense.
I'm sure the guy that got murdered was Korean. I don't know. I'm just assuming. But
it is difficult, and I think like the difference now I think is a lot of internships actually do pay you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
What's next for producer O? What's next for Plan B? If they're the same thing, you can answer as a woman or a Korean. But not both.
I actually became through this whole experience I became friends with Steven Yeun. He's an awesome dude, and so I think we are gonna try and cook something up. And then we're working on a film, James Gray's next film right now. We just wrapped a film called Beautiful Boy, directed by Felix von Groningen, which is gonna be it's gonna be like a little sad, but
Well, so is Okja, but it's
9/11, everybody. Let's hear it for Christina Oh.
but those things aren't related. Thank you, Christina Oh, for talking about Okja. Okja is when's it on Netflix?
June 28th, next Wednesday.
June 28th, next Wednesday. So right now you're saying, Dean, there's been a shift in the show. You're wearing a foam super pig on your head.
It seems like a harbinger of some sort of new aspect to our program.
And also, you dismissed your guest like some kind of weird handmaid patriarch. You sent her off. Why would that be? Well, because, as promised, like this is finally it. After much fucking ado, we're gonna play our new Pathfinder campaign. I think you might have jumped the gun on the music.
I just wanted to give it a sting.
Oh, okay. Because I think, well, let's see if this experiment can work, or we take a break for the mid-roll ad that the people that pay $5 a month don't have to listen to, and instead, the people listening to the ad on the free version of the podcast don't get to hear the following.
We don't actually have to do anything because no one will know. I mean, you guys
I think
will.
they'll know, and they'll get on Reddit, and they'll
They're
say,
not going to
"You
say
guys
nothing. These guys are too cool to be on Reddit.
Let's just talk shit about Reddit during
They love not. Yeah, they hate Reddit. these
Reddit
days.
is like the Arizona of sites. Arizona. Wow. Arizona's a great state to go to if you hate women, Mexicans, and gay people.
and front lawns. But you love gravel. Their front lawns are gravel.
Look, your statements bear no fucking gravitas right now. You got a foam pig in your head.
I know what to do during our. This is still our special break. Let me show, because this will just be for people that are.
Do we have some? Hey, Jordy?
Captain, we're going Warp Factor 7.
Yeah.
Give the actor his eyes. Do you guys think LeVar Burton, did anybody ever listen to that episode? Did something happen during that show that would explain LeVar Burton not only not showing up to my wedding, but also just kind of generally, I don't know, I feel like...
I think he's on Earwolf now. Maybe it's an Earwolf beef.
Oh.
Don't we have
LeVar
beef
Burton's
with
on
you?
Earwolf?
No.
Okay,
I think he is.
Can you pull up the... I got my iPhone plugged into the feed, because I just wanted to show these... You might have seen these. I retweeted this picture.
These are those meat torture videos.
These are the. This is the photo of the protesters that were outside Shakespeare in the Park.
Boo the cast?
This guy's got a little sign that says "Boo the cast," and this guy and don't be fooled into thinking this is a crowd. These are just two pictures where just this guy is behind this lady in the press. So. It's just Spielberg here with his pro-Trump, far-left, hates America. So the weird thing is I retweeted that, and then somebody that had tweeted, they're like, hey, respect my investigative journalism, because what I found out is that this person was saying this. I followed this kind of sub-thread, and they were like, this guy was outside the fucking Hamilton show in New York. It's the same guy with the same sign. Same font, same. Do you think that he, like Cody said, oh man, if his son breaks his arm, he can stand outside the hospital and get triple. But I don't know why you wouldn't want to cheer that cast. Maybe because it's an Obamacare cast.
Or if he becomes a ghost.
But this guy, so now it's like a question of, so he definitely went from a boring villain to an interesting villain, but if he goes to it, what can he do with this sign to make him the world's shittiest hero?
What's his angle? He hates the cast because they're being lefties, or what?
Well, the Shakespeare in the Park thing, they did Julius Caesar, and it's like, look, when you do Julius Caesar, you pick a fucking wardrobe, you pick an angle. They go, oh, let's make them 1920s gangsters. Other thing, and they did an Obama thing where Julius Caesar was an African American man, and this time they gave him a big long red tie and blonde hair, right. And so then it was like, we all know that these people aren't actually offended and they're just playing this fucking weird game of hungry hippos with us, where it's like they're just I don't know if
that was a game from 1849.
It's just so fucking weird, but I don't want to get sidetracked by that because we all spend our days
where was this taken? This is also in New York.
Where's Shakespeare in the Park? That's Central Park, right?
Yeah. So, this guy has that much free time where he just goes from theater to theater.
I like the idea that he made the sign for Hamilton, and then he brought it home, and he's a hoarder, and he just put it on the side of the. He didn't. He's like, I don't know. I'm gonna hang on to that because the arts typically, I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't the last time that a play. It gets intertwined with my politics, and then he went to sleep and he ate some spam and
But if he likes the play, he has another sign that says, "Don't boo the cast, boo the player."
All right, we're back from the secret segments.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh,
if you're working at Feral Audio, you shouldn't have left any of that in the show.
No one's working there.
Okay.
Annie's leaving and she can't even walk.
It's bad when Annie walks out. It's like, yeah. Please stay. We just got into our ableist jokes.
She's just going to the bar. There's 45 people in line for
That is
booze.
where you will always find Annie.
All right, so Spencer,
Hey guys.
are you ready
Okay.
to rock and roll in some D&D right now? Some
Yeah.
Pathfinder, rather?
I gotta say though, I think it'll be bad. So I'll just put that out there.
You've learned well, my student.
Yeah.
It's a great way to make it good.
Why are you so pessimistic? Or are you just lowering expectations?
No, well, I mean, technically, yeah, I am lowering your ex. But
I'll give you
it's
an
honest.
excuse. Levy's not here, and we just last show we agreed. Oh, we're gonna make it consistent. It's gonna be the 3 characters. And now Levy is,
Yeah.
Right.
visiting his family for Father's Day like he does every year because his dad died. What a fucking asshole. me. More like Steve
Mimi. Yeah.
Steve Mimi. More like Steve, leave us.
He did.
He did. He fucking did.
Yeah.
Right.
But that could be your excuse because that caught you off guard. Now you got to confine the adventure to the 2 of us. I'm excited about it. I'm barely drunk. I'm not as drunk.
Yeah, me too.
And we're gonna do real. I know my spells.
It'll be bad. It's fine.
I know my character.
Yeah.
I know who I am, kind of.
You said earlier you might change your name from Carlos Johnson.
Oh, well,
Oh,
I thought,
yeah.
I thought about it for a second because I was like, oh, Carlos, people are going to, oh, that's like a Freaks and Geeks reference. Wasn't that James Franco's character? Was it Carlos the Dwarf?
Yeah.
But then I thought, well, he's Carlos the Unimaginative, so I don't know.
I say leave it.
I say leave it because if it's all of a sudden I'm named Duracell the fuck bucket,
Wait, Duracell the fuck like?
Duracell the fuck bucket?
Oh, fuck
yeah.
bucket. I heard fuck like.
Look, if you don't become Duracell the fuck bucket, I hope we meet that character somewhere along the road. Duracell the fuck bucket. That just made me happy.
I also feel like once you riff the name Carlos, if you change it to anything else, I do feel like the Latino community,
Feels
we're going to have a
stiff.
very valid complaint because I'm famous for the lack of fucking Latino presence in my hit
Oh
shows.
yeah, and remember that what's going to happen to soccer joke? Remember the Latino community joke? Oh man, you are not coming back after that. You are way behind with that population. We can't take another risk by changing a name away from Carlos, or you'll be just out of the game.
All right, well, I'll stay
No,
Carlos.
there's the thing. It is there was a press conference at community college, and then there's it's a estudiante press. How will this affect soccer?
Oh, that.
Yeah.
What, you think people were offended by that?
So
no,
there's
you're silly.
protests.
All right. Okay.
All right, so Spencer, how do you want to kick this off?
It was a great joke. It was great.
Do you let me know when you want theme music, and you can cast us off into a mystical realm of madness and mayhem.
All right.
We're going to do real combat, turn-based. No more I build a boat and row it to the weapons store.
Right. And
You can say that, but he's like, oh, you say, okay, you start building a boat.
Spencer, you're going to keep us honest on our if we do things that are not proper, you're gonna give us notes.
Right.
Real time.
As far as I feel like doing that.
Right. Spencer, your enthusiasm is exhilarating. Right?
Yeah, I'm really just trying to set the table.
Shall we start?
Yeah, hit it.
Are you ready?
All right. The town of Rowan has been in peril. A letter from the local priory details a village under siege by evil. The prior says heresy and evil have taken root in the town, and demons and evil spirits have been afflicting the townsfolk. They've begged for aid in the past, and they've lost contact with both of the clergymen who were sent to investigate. The prior fears for the lives of his congregation and seeks the aid of the church militant in rooting out the source of the evil and saving the village from its sin. All right, yeah.
I didn't get a lot of that because I realized, oh shit, there's going to be notes.
It's a classic trend of yours. It's good. So let's start by asking questions. Do you have any questions, maybe generating from the fact that you didn't hear some of this?
I got a letter
Yes.
from my superior or some bureaucrat within my church said, go to this town.
Right.
This town is languishing from evil.
Right. There's evil taking root in this town, and it's affecting our townsfolk.
What's the town's name?
Roan, or Roan. R-O-A-N. I think that's just Roan, right?
Sure.
I mean, I invented that's a word.
Yeah.
Let's move past.
I wrote it down with a W, so let's just call it Rowan.
I mean, whatever. I don't think you writing it down wrong should change the name.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I don't think that should be justification.
You were waffling on your own decision.
Well, the pronunciation, to be sure, yes.
That doesn't open you up.
This is what I'm talking about
You're
when I said bad.
dungeon topping from the bottom of the dungeon.
No, it's great. Everyone's great. All right. So you guys, you're in like a horse-drawn wagon together because you've been dispatched on this mission. Yeah.
Hey, Carlos.
Chad.
It's good to see you back. You were away for a while. It's nice to be back on a case with you.
Yeah. I'm really proud of you.
Really?
I remember I taught you things in my role as a cleric at the Church of the Silver Flame.
Sure.
And you were a great acolyte. You were a great initiate.
Yeah, but I think I'm pretty grown up now. Like I feel weird that we're equals. Like we're basically the same kind of status, like in the church. Like I think of you as kind of a hero. You were my mentor, but now we're working side by side as a team.
Don't. I mean, it's good to just say that stuff. Don't carry shame around with you. You know, just keep yourself pure. I admit to my jealousy. Like I teach young kids how to be adept at the arts of the Silver Flame, and when I see them rise in stature faster than I've ever been able to, I get jealous. Now that I've confessed that,
you kind of get in your own way a lot. Like you could have been top dog. Really,
Yeah.
you kind of self-sabotage yourself a lot. You know?
Yeah, I mean, and now you're being a dick, and but if I don't, the key is which of us is more self-inspecting, and which of us is saying stuff like that.
Thing is,
and the answer that person.
Okay, let's just drop it. I clearly there's a lot of baggage there.
This church is fucked up. You know, when it's fucked up
The
church.
church is the reason why we're here. Like we're trying to purify ourselves and purify the world of evil.
The religion is the reason we're here. The church is fucked from the head down by people that believe more in politics than religion.
Okay, well, let's not talk. Can we have one wagon ride where we're not doing this?
I'm just concerned for the people of Roan.
It's pronounced Rowan, but that's cool. How far out do you think we are?
Driver!
You're the driver.
Hello. What? Oh, I'm driving.
Yeah, it's just like a horse.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait. Carlos, are you drunk?
Sorry, a voice in my head I thought maybe was the Silver Flame said, "You're the driver," and I thought it meant
If you've been drinking, you're supposed to put the reins to the wagon in the bowl by the door, and like somebody else drives the wagon. It's okay.
It looks like Rowan's. I look ahead on the road. What do I see?
All right. The road is rough and bumpy out in the countryside, and the rolling hills look endless and foreboding in the dreary gray of the darkening clouded sky. Following an even smaller, winding road to your left takes you off the main path and into the gentler yellow plains that give way to fenced plots of fallowed farmlands. That's like farmlands without crops in them. The edge of town. This must be the edge of town. Aside from a single small house and barn near one of these farm plots and two darkened, ruined, kind of burnt-looking structures, no real buildings or civilization are found this far out. It seems like way down the way there's bit more of a town, but you're really only seeing these kind of 3 buildings on this path, and it's kind of getting towards evening.
Maybe we should stop here and
Let's let the horses rest and maybe give them something to eat, some water.
let's see if there's any people around that can give us information, the kind we won't get once we're in the confines of the city.
Okay. The 3 buildings are a barn, a farmhouse. What else?
Well, you see a farm and a barn house, or barn and a farmhouse, there we go, that are right next to each other. And then across, like you're on a road, and then that's on, say, the left side of the road. And then on the right side of the road, you just see 2 kind of burnt out husks of buildings.
Whoa. Easy.
We lead the wagon into the barn.
Okay. So, all right. Yeah. No, you roll up towards the barn, and you can see there's light coming from inside the farmhouse, and the barn's closed for the night.
Oh, it's nighttime already. It's sundown.
Well, it's like getting dark, but the barn's closed.
Magic hour.
Yeah, that if that's established, then sure. It might be magic.
I kind of quietly walk up and to a window at the farmhouse.
Okay. Wait. Sorry. So we should establish. What do you guys look like? I mean, we can establish that later, maybe. But I don't know what you guys look like.
I'm a gnome druid.
Yeah.
I'm a short little fellow. I carry a walking magical quarterstaff that has secret powers, and my name is Chad the Fireliker. I'm a gnome druid.
Right.
And I'm dressed druidic. I have kind of brightly colored hair and a brightly colored outfit. And I'm a little eccentric.
You're a colorful gnome man.
Yeah.
Sure. Well,
I'm a human. Size medium. I'm wearing a dirty robe.
right. So that's like church clothes, kind of. But your clothes are probably not like church clothes. They're like colorful.
Well, I mean, I accent my church garb with, I got like a.
Oh, okay. It's
I've got like
customized.
my pouch that I carry my stuff in is kind of like a fanny pack. It's very brightly colored.
I think I kind of look like an older Antonio Banderas,
Great. This is perfect.
but maybe with a little paunch. Like I'm not athletic, but that might be part of. I don't know what Antonio Banderas looks like these days, but
I think I kind of look like a more ragged Seth Green.
Well, this will be perfect. Thank you. Sorry for the diversion.
So we are parking our carriage. This is one that we own. Did we rent this?
It's. I mean, it's the church's maybe, but yeah, it's
Okay,
yours.
it's like a company car.
It's a
Yeah.
church wagon. It's a church wagon.
So we park it. I don't
Yeah.
know. What you. I'm assuming my character knows more than I do about how to park a horse-drawn cart.
You kind of just stop it, really.
Okay. And how far is this light from this farmhouse?
The farmhouse is like maybe there's a 5-foot gap between the farmhouse and the barn, so it's really close. They're right next to each other, so the glow is really close from the window. And you said you were going to the window, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you look in the window and you see a woman who's tending to a cauldron over a fire, but it looks like a cooking cauldron, not like a witch cauldron.
Hey,
Yeah.
well, you're a goblin. You shouldn't be hanging
No.
outside
Fucking
people's windows.
dude, I'm a gnome, so it's fucking this.
I'm going to the front door.
A goblin?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I actually misheard that. I wouldn't say that. My character wouldn't say that
You know what?
because I actually. This is
Look,
me. I misheard.
if I didn't have so
I'm
much
used to you
respect
being a
for you,
goblin,
if
sorry.
I didn't have so much respect for you, I would tell you that I see why the church doesn't keep you in their good graces. Why you're at the same level? Like you should be like 10 times higher ranking than you are. We're the same. Like I'm like the third your age. Like you walk around calling people goblins. It's like it's fucking fuck you. So why don't we just finish this? Let's rid Rowan of evil and get the fuck out of here, and then you can go hang out with other racist people.
I go to the front door.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't need you to be a perfect person. I look at you as an opportunity to learn. I channel the silver flame. It purifies the earth of evil. Knock, knock, knock.
You hear that coming from inside someone's...
I only speak common.
Yeah.
So is that really what they're saying? Or?
Yeah, it's like an old person. No, what? Sorry, he's just grumbling. He's grumbling. He's coming to you. You hear a guy coming to the door, and from the other side of the door, you say, "Who's out there?"
Inquisitors from the Church of the Silver Flame, sir.
You hear him unlocking multiple locks, and he swings open the door. He's holding like a kitchen knife, but it's not like menacing. It's just kind of like he was holding a kitchen knife before this.
Put the knife down, sir. Mind if we come inside?
Sure. Yeah. Well, who are you?
We're from the Church of the Silver Flame. We hear that your town's been ravaged by evil.
You said that. Who are you?
My name is Chad.
Okay.
The Fire Liker.
My name's Carlos, the knife suspector.
My name's Tom, the farmer. He puts down the knife.
Thanks.
He kind of turns away from you and just motions you to follow him in. He's going like, more church, god damn it, more church. Half this damn town is church. This whole place is fucking church, ain't done any good. My name's Tom Fell.
I walk in and do that thing where I just kind of drag my finger along like a surface and like check and see how dusty it is. Like, it doesn't mean anything, but it looks like I know what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, it looks like you know what you're doing.
The church folk that you're used to dealing with, maybe from the ministry, we're militants. We get the job done, or your lack of money back.
Sir, Tom, I'm sorry to come at you at this late hour, but did you or anyone you know come in contact with the evil that just went through the town?
Wait, do a sense motive check. It'll be great. Do you have a sense motive score on your skills?
I do.
All right, you can do one too.
Okay. And mine should be high because I have a wisdom of 16.
I think both of you guys have reasonable wisdoms, but yeah.
No, I don't have any like extra score on sense motive.
All right. Well, what's your wisdom then? And what's your sense motive?
My sense motive is checked but blank, but my wisdom is 16 and my ability modifier is therefore plus 3.
Great.
So.
My wisdom is 16 plus 3.
What are the odds? Both of you have the same score. Okay, it's great. He hears your question. What was the question?
Did you or anyone that you know come in contact with the evil that ravaged your town?
I don't know what you're talking about, man. The only evil here is just church corruption. But Dan, you can tell he's hiding something.
You have any family, sir?
Yeah, I got family.
Where are they?
They're here. My wife, Bonnie.
Bring her out.
She's in the. This area is like it's like an entry area that's attached to a kitchen area, so she's visible in this room. Yeah, let me describe it. It's just like a house. There's a staircase that goes up into presumably like maybe bedrooms or stuff. But the main area is just kind of a one room. It's like a family room, dining room, kitchen kind
Sir,
of.
I've been in houses.
Yeah.
I've lived in cooler places. No, I'm kidding.
It's just part of the
As if
tour.
that guy was saying that.
Yeah.
My house is. Bonnie?
Yeah. Hey.
I'm Inquisitor Carlos, the unimaginative, hence the name.
I'm Chad the Fire Liker.
Great. Don't mind me. I'll be just cooking. I'll have something out in just a sec. You probably need food.
Hey, listen, Bonnie, I couldn't help but notice across the way there's a couple burned out buildings over there. Do you want to tell me what you saw? What went down over there?
That was just James. James and his wife, they moved out. They burned their whole place down and just moved out one day. Never spoke to nobody.
Can I sense motive on her?
Yeah. She seems to be telling the truth.
James is just your neighbor?
Well, yeah, they were, yeah.
How big is your family?
Well, 3.
Including you two?
Yeah.
Who's missing here?
What's his name? Cliff. He's sick.
Well, is he sick with various disorders that come from being raised by people that forget your name? I'm kidding. Sorry.
It's okay. He called me a goblin earlier. It's all right.
Can I see Cliff?
Why?
I'd like to take Cliff notes.
I don't.
That's been our show. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Is that a reference to something?
It will be.
Wink.
I'd like to see Cliff. You see, we just come into town. This is what we do. It's part of procedure. The
Yeah, you
church-
guys seem angry about the church, but we're here to help. Like, if your town has been under attack by evil, we're here to help.
You've had complaints about the church. I'm assuming those complaints aren't that they were thorough, attentive, empathic, concerned.
Concerned? No. Not concerned.
So I'm here to change that tide.
Right.
I'm not like my colleagues. I'd like to talk to Cliff.
Are you guys healers? You guys healers?
I'm a healer.
Really?
Yeah.
I pull Carlos aside and I go, hey, why don't we get in these guys' good graces and go up there and heal their sick child?
Maybe I will. I have to see him first.
Well, he's sick. He shouldn't be seeing anybody.
Except a cleric, you dingbat.
I mean, it's your funeral.
Are you threatening me? Or is...
It's just a figure of speech.
Oh. Well, can you tell me? I mean, you just said, what does he have, plague?
No. We don't really know what he's got.
We just start walking up the stairs or wherever Cliff is. We just like go like to find him. With, like we just push past the parents towards wherever Cliff is.
Wait. But you successfully push past him.
As I push past, I also run my finger along another surface and do the dust check.
It tells you different information than last time. You hear a crashing and banging coming from up the stairs, as well as a yelling, and Tom starts cursing. God damn it, not now. God damn it, come on, man. Cliff, come on, man. God damn it.
Listen, did you keep an eye on Bonnie and what's his name?
Tom.
Tom
fell.
And let me check out Cliff. I just don't want them coming up behind us.
I got eyeballs on the Tomcats, and you go check the eagle's nest.
Scenario 3. I go to the door from which the sound is coming.
All right, you do that. At the top of the stairs, you see a shifting blue light flashing wildly under a crack in a bedroom door. You feel a sense of dread creep through your entire body as you hear an unearthly voice bellowing, "Get out of my home! Get out of it!"
Cliff?
No.
Well, not your home then. You. Checkmate.
He doesn't respond, so maybe.
I am here bearing the power of the silver flame. I am a purifying vessel. I sense that you are evil. You have 5 seconds to vacate this premises and this domain.
Ah.
Time's up. Bitch. Now I'm gonna I'm just gonna open the door.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do anything fancy. I'm just gonna open the door.
You see a large bed shaking and bouncing around, and there's a kid belted down to the bed, and there's a strange light. There's a strange light kind of flashing around the room, and you see darkness kind of emanating and leaking from the kid's eyes and his mouth. Shit. He's like, "You have no power over me."
Oh,
that's
but
all
I
he says.
do. I do.
I hear that, and I come in and join them in the room together, and I say, Carlos, you know what to do.
Channel energy. I send out a burst of healing light.
To heal
Well,
the living.
No, to damage, actually.
To damage the undead.
Yeah.
Okay. You do that. You see the wave wash over him, and he goes, rah! But he doesn't seem damaged or hurt in any way, as if he's not a member of the undead.
And that's called elimination. I'm always one step ahead. He's not undead. I'd call this a case of possession. And that really gets my giblets.
Finish your statement.
Holy water.
Do you have holy water?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, all right. We'll cross it out then.
Wait. You taking it away? Oh, no. Okay, yeah, I'm using it. Okay. Yeah, holy water.
Yeah, you're using it.
Can I get a pencil later?
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
get you one later.
Okay.
Or maybe someone else can get you one later.
Okay, for now, just remember if I try to use holy water later that I don't have it.
I'll get it. Yeah, it'll be great. Okay. Oh, no. You miss! You miss the bedridden child. Holy water splatters to the floor in a broken phial.
I got it. I'm just going to try to, like, mop some of it up out of my hands.
All right, well, it's not your turn now.
Right, well, okay.
Turns. Sorry, initiative. It's Jeff.
Well, I don't have any skills to it, like to get rid of evil necessarily. I call on I summon the advice of the keeper of the flame.
You meditate on the voice of the silver flame, and it doesn't tell you any specific things, but you recall your training, which is like to kill evil.
Okay, I have some cloth with me. Do I still have a turn? I kind of wasted that one.
Well, what did you do?
Well, I take my cloth and I go over to where the holy water mist, and I try to mop up the holy water and absorb the mist holy water, and then try to use the absorbed holy water on Cliff.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Don't coddle me if that's stupid. Like,
No, I mean it is stupid, but that doesn't mean it doesn't work. It could work very well.
Right.
All right. Well, you do that. You start mopping his brow with a mop. No, not a mop. A handkerchief made of holy water, inundated with holy water.
Yeah.
It deals 2 damage. And as that happens, you can see the kid. He raises his arm, and a tendril of shadow lashes out of his armpit at you, dealing 4 damage.
Jesus Christ.
So he goes, rah, rah.
We got armpit boogans.
Yeah. All right, shit got real. Is it my turn?
No, it's the ghost's turn. He doesn't do anything, though. He's just laughing.
Is it my turn now?
Well, you hear people coming up the stairs, and it's Tom and Bonnie. They're like, "What's going on? What are you doing?" I heard some stuff breaking.
We're doing more than you did. Close the door.
All right.
You're bad parents.
They close the door. All right. Now
I didn't waste a turn doing that, did I?
No.
Okay, because I want to cast that thing where I win. No, it's the I think it's solar flare. No, it's no, that's just a blinding thing. It's the thing that kind of just like I'm looking for it now and I don't see it. It's a spell where shit balls. I'm sorry. I thought it was like a thing where I create like an aura that of deflection. Is that what it is?
Well, what are you trying to do?
Kind of deflect things with an aura. No, I'm looking for it now. I don't see it now.
Yeah. Well, what are you looking for?
Oh, I wanted to make like a bubble. You know, I just like, oh, shit's going down, so I just want to buff us. You know, like
Right.
if it's like a video game, I'm just looking to buff.
Yeah, I think that's the aura of deflection. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like hamana hamana hamana. Oh, silver flame. Stop. And I make like it makes you better at what you do. Makes us all better at what we do.
Thanks, man.
All right, great. Now it's Jeff's turn.
Shit. I don't know how to attack a ghost inside a kid's body. Shit. I cast flare and try to dazzle the ghost while, to buy time for Carlos to finish the job.
Oh man, you see the ghost. No, not the ghost. There's no ghost. You see the kid get dazzled. He's like, whoa. Like that.
Carlos, I got him dazzled. Go in for the fucking kill.
It's his turn though.
Oh shit.
He goes, he starts thrashing about, and you can see kind of these shadow tendrils lashing out some more. What are each of your armor class, actually?
17.
17.
All right, well, both of you pass. All right, the shadows lash at your body, but they hit your armor, and it feels good against your armor.
Leave this child, or we will kill him!
There's pounding on the door. What do you think you're doing? Do you know what you're doing? Because we could have just killed him. We thought you'd do something. Pound.
I say out loud,
The damn church.
Oh yeah, well we'll show you the power of the church. I tell the ghost, there's a ghost inside Cliff, come out and fight like a ghost and not be a shit.
Well, it's Dan's turn, but you do say that.
Okay. I check for more dust.
God
Wait,
damn
what?
it,
I didn't hear that.
We're really out of our league here. We know. What?
Protection from evil.
That would be nice if they had that.
Yeah. That,
Patriarchal sexism.
That would be nice if we abolished that.
it's hard to hit a kid with a weapon because it's like.
Yeah, you really went in guns a-blazing.
I know. We did. We're bad. We're level 2.
Oh.
I just punch the kid in the face. It's a non-lethal attack. I'm not using a weapon. I'm just I just want to make it clear that we don't care. You can't use a human shield. We don't negotiate with ghosts.
All right. Well, so you raise your fist and stomp over to the little boy, and out in front of the little boy, a ghost kind of bursts out of his body and kind of stands like guarding the little boy, but he's a ghost, so you just walk through him and you deck the little boy. Oh, unless you want to stop, does the ghost make you change your? Because it might.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Well, then what do you want to do in response to the ghost? Because that would be funny, though.
Well, I mean, if I see the ghost, can I do more than stop? I mean, whatever happened to good old turning of the undead? I'm a cleric.
That's a feat
he's
you'll
not
get
undead.
next level.
He's a and
Well, a ghost is traditionally undead.
But when he's in the dude, he wasn't I said
You may be making assumptions that aren't based in reality. That's a catch-all, right? I can't answer that question without giving you a hint.
Carlos, you just walked through a ghost before you hit that child.
Well, he didn't hit the child.
Yeah, you almost hit a child, but thank God that ghost came out.
All right. Well, I don't want to do too much metagaming, but I think it might be an illusion. This is what, maybe this isn't. I don't think everything is what it seems. I'm gonna punch the kid anyway.
So you step through the ghost and you deck the kid. The ghost or the kid is still laughing like rah ha ha ha, and you deck the kid and you hit him pretty hard.
I'm not proud of it.
Right. Well, you can be. He takes 4 damage, and you can see his face start to swell, and he goes, ah! And the ghost that came out starts like grabbing on you, and you can feel its coldness, but it can't hurt you for whatever reason.
The ghost might be good.
The ghost might be good.
I gotta yell something out at you.
I go over and I hit the kid too.
The ghost is protecting the kid.
The ghost is protecting the kid?
The kid's possessed by a demon.
Right.
The ghost is undead and is out in front of the kid and not the kid is like still has a demon in him or something.
Right.
So I think
It
maybe
just seems like we're making progress by hitting this kid.
You're always making some sort of progress.
I wait for my turn.
Okay. Well, that will be after.
I pass. I go to the kid, I raise my fist like I'm gonna hit him.
All right. So then the ghost boy jumps off at Dan and starts grappling onto you, but again, it can't really do much. You can just feel like cold ghost fingers touching you, and it's real creepy. And then the demon boy is like, and he starts vomiting all over the place. So you guys got to make reflex saves. What are your reflex saves?
2. 2 plus 2?
2.
2 plus 2 or 2?
Well, 2, an ability modifier 2. So
That's 4, baby.
4.
Cool. Okay, so both of you, I keep not hitting you guys. You both dodge, but the ground is all slippery and slick with vomit. It's gross. Then the mom and the dad burst in through the door, and the dad's got a knife, and the mom has a flower pot. That's sexist, but whatever. It's a classic female weapon.
I mean,
no, she has a rolling pin.
It's a rolling pin shaped like a vagina.
Yeah. And they're like, leave our kids alone. You guys are the worst.
Kids?
Yeah. Kids.
Is one of them a ghost?
Yeah, one of them died about 2 months ago. We're still kind of dealing with it.
What's his name?
What's his name? Archer.
Archer, if you want to protect Cliff, you must work with us, not again.
Well, you can't punch a kid to death and kill the demon inside.
Wait.
I can't talk. I didn't say that. The ghost doesn't talk. I said that. Me, the DM.
Archer, help us.
It looks at you with weird glowing eyes, and then it dives back into the boy, and the boy starts thrashing around some more and laughing. Ah, ha, ha, get out of my house!
I'm going in.
you're going into a little boy.
All right, full disclosure, I say to the parents, we're not really, this is our first time fighting a ghost. Demon. And
Yeah, I asked Tom and Bonnie, is the ghost that's possessing your child the dead other child?
I don't know, man. This is confusing. We're just trying to follow the facts. That ghost looked like, the dead kid. Archer.
Sidebar.
Yeah.
You know the only thing we haven't tried?
What?
Getting out of the house. I mean, it's like we're assuming we're supposed.
Yeah, we thought you were going to heal him. We didn't want you to kill him. Sorry, you were sidebarring.
I'll heal the damage I caused by punching his face. But then I think our work is done here.
Thorough.
Channel energy.
Ah, ha, ha, ha. Ah, ha, ha, ha. He gets healed, though.
You like that?
Yeah, it's funny to me.
What else do you like?
Evil.
You want some real cold soup? You want some gross soup? Does that taste good to you? Are you like the Addams family? Like where everything bad is good?
Yeah, I'm like the Addams family.
Bonnie, go make a bowl of horrible tasting soup.
What the hell? What are you guys doing?
I have a plan. Don't question the church.
I don't know what we're doing.
I don't know what we're going to get out
have
of
to just get out of
healing
here.
this
We have to
kid.
just
We-
leave.
we could just leave.
We have to just leave.
Yeah.
We don't
Okay.
know what we're doing.
Okay. I turn to them and I do another dust check on the thing, and I go, "Look, we're going to be back.
Yeah.
We have a couple other leads to check out,
Yeah.
and we'll make sure that we help your kid, and we're going to redeem the church in your eyes, or our name isn't Chad and Carlos."
In the meantime, ask yourself, how is this your fault?
My pot is boiling over. Dinner is ruined. In addition to this terrible evening.
Good, the demon will like that. And then his mind will be blown that you're on his side. He might leave. He might be defined by opposition. A lot of demons like to fight. If you just give them bad soup, which they think is good soup, they get confused and bored and they leave. Try that. We'll be back.
We walked down the hallway, and I go, "Carlos, like you're supposed to be the healer guy. I'm a fire user.
I healed him.
I can't just burn everything. And you're supposed to you threw. We tried the holy water thing. We got the ghost out. What the fuck?
We didn't get the ghost out. The ghost came out. It doesn't. Look. I don't know. I've never fought that kind of thing before. I only can do so much. I can heal. I can cause wounds. I can heal the wounds I cause.
Why don't we take it down the street and let's gather some information. Let's grow as a team here.
Yeah.
I mean, we might learn something.
Yeah. I mean, that kid's been possessed for what? Months.
He seems fine.
He'll keep.
A week.
A week?
Yeah.
What's another 10 minutes a day gonna do?
It seems like also a lot of laughing. It seems like it's pretty fun. Seems like everyone's a winner.
I didn't get a letter saying go to a farmhouse and help Bonnie, with her kid.
We should do?
We haven't even been to town. These people probably aren't even
Why don't
paying
we
taxes.
Why don't we go across the street and check out these burned out the houses that the guy, the neighbor James and wife left.
Yeah, we're gonna go check out the area.
Well, we walk over toward the James burned out buildings.
Should we call it? Was that a good stopping point?
No, we didn't do shit.
Well, it's 10. I mean, we've been at this for an hour, right? How
I
long
mean,
have we been doing this?
Yeah, like a half hour.
Oh, we can keep going. I'm sorry. I just thought it was 10.
It's 10 o'clock. Maybe
We just wouldn't be ending on any applause. You guys are dooming me to have to do some kind of rap or
Yeah,
some
yeah.
kind of
No,
thing.
that's what I would love you to rap.
Yeah.
Do a
All right. Put that foam pig back on your head and let's do some rapping. We didn't do anything. We went into a room and there was a kid.
I think
But
you
that's
guys did
important.
a lot.
That's like the cold open of our movie. It's like we're bad at what we're doing. And that makes the audience resonate with us. They're like, yeah, I don't know what I would have done either. That guy's like, protection from evil. Fuck you don't know what you're talking about. And not that we're saying if you. Yeah, I'm just saying, I got a bunch of spells that are I tried. We were out of our league.
Yeah, I took out some spells that relate to evil. Because they're overpowered.
Okay.
Like detect evil would be kind of an anticlimax.
Yeah, I would have used that right away.
All right, Zach, you got a beat back there? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yo.
Come on.
Burbank rap. Burbank rap. B-U-R-B-A-N-K. Take it to the Burbank. Burr. It's cold outside for your money. Got to go to the Burbank with your honey. Make a deposit, don't make a withdrawal. I'm gonna fuck your mama, fuck your sister, fuck them all. Get the Burbank. Burbank rap. It's cold. I need interest. Burbank. Turn up the heat. I need a FDIC insured account for your mama's pussy in the amount of one juicy pussy. Let me tell you about the time I went to Nebraska. with a quick stop in Alaska.
Yeah.
And I looked at my list of to-do tasks, and I said, I gotta go to Burbank and take out a pussy. So I did. I went back to Burbank, and I fucked your mama on the counter at the Burbank. And I said, ooh, it's cold in here, but it's hot in you. She said, what you gonna do? I said, I'm already doing it.
Thank you for coming to Harmontown, everybody. Spencer Crittenden, Christina Oh. Thank you to Zach, Kevin, Sarah, Church, all of our friends here. Kevin, Spencer Crittenden, everybody. I'm in your comptroller, Jeff Davis. Your mayor, once again, is Dan Harmon.
And watch Oakja next Wednesday. Oh, fuck. God damn it. We didn't plug the goddamn thing.
What? Buy a gun.
The Friday 40 show.
Oh.
Come watch Friday 40 on Friday here.
I thought I would know what you were talking about.
It's in there. We're doing a taping of that Friday 40 show. Maybe some of you have seen it. I've done it a couple times. It's
Often at the Meltdown.
Yeah, Scott Gimple, who runs The Walking Dead, and
Dave Holmes.
Dave Holmes are great guys. They have this fun
40
show.
ounces.
Friday, yeah, people drink 40 ounces and answer questions of the week in pop culture. Which that show must be insane now, because it's like, how do you even keep up with what's happening in the news? But it's a fun little game show, and we're going to do a little taping of it next Friday. Or the next Friday that happens, not Friday. Friday.
Thank you for coming to Harmontown, everybody. It's been a nice
Did you get any of that?
It's a good show.